This week, we are talking about skincare, which is one of the things that I love, love, love. Whenever I turned 30 years old, on my birthday, I went to Sephora and I bought day cream, night cream, a really good face wash. And I was started to take care of my skin because I didn't want to grow old. And I thought 30 was so old then. And ever since then, I've been so fascinated and kind of borderline like crazy with buying skincare. I get like 2 boxes from these like FabFitFun with all the skincare in it, and I get a GQ box full of skincare stuff and another box. I don't know. I get all these subscription boxes like once a quarter, and most of it I use. But I have so much skincare in my bathroom. I have 3 big drawers in my main bathroom downstairs, and I have 2 under the sink cabinets, and they are all filled to the brim with skincare stuff. I have so much skincare, I have to send it. I send one box almost a month to my friend Mandy of stuff that I'm not ever going to use. It's just like I could open up my own Sephora, to be honest. I am really excited for you to hear this guest I have on today. His name is Chris Gibson. He does a whole YouTube channel about skincare. Whenever he told me his age on the interview, I was shocked. He has done so much research and has worked with so many different kind of brands, and he knows his shit, and he's really good. And you'll have to check out his YouTube channel. It's in the description of this podcast, and he'll talk about it also in our interview. But I love a guy that takes care of his skin, that knows his skin, and listen to the guy's age. Think about how old you think he is if you're watching the video. And if you're not watching the video and just listening to this, just Google Chris Gibson skincare guy, and he'll come up, and just guess his age. And I bet you will be wrong. So he looks great, and he was a great interview, and I really enjoyed meeting him. So I hope you enjoyed the episode today, and thanks for listening. Hi, thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. I have a guest today that I'm so excited to have on. I love skincare, and his name is Chris Gibson, and he is a holistic skincare guy. He's got over 500,000 followers on YouTube, so he's doing something right. And I looked through his channel. He's awesome, and I'm so happy to have you on the show, Chris. So welcome.
I'm happy to be here for sure.
So tell me your whole story about how you got started in skincare, and why the holistic piece is so important to you.
Yeah. So I had, like many teens, bad skin, as we say, acne. I had cystic acne, which ran in the family, actually. So pretty early on, my parents whisked me off to the dermatologist because previous generations had a lot of scarring from the acne. So the whole thing was to keep me from getting scars, right? Unfortunately for me, none of the stuff that they gave me worked. Antibiotics didn't work to clear it up. It was a really rough time. So I kind of leaned on I would outgrow it. That's what I kept hearing. You'll outgrow it. Well, when I was 22, I still had it. So I went back to a dermatologist, and I learned a lot of great things that I teach from the dermatologist. It's not that they were like the bad guy or anything. It's just the tools, including Accutane, which is what they still give people today, just did not work for me. Yeah. It would go away on Accutane and come back. And Accutane is a drug that is a rough drug to be on while you're on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of side effects, right?
It's a lot of side effects. My eyebrows fell out, like facial hair falls out in patchy, dry skin, peely skin, really moody, just a host of things. And you had to get your blood. You still do have to get a blood test about every 6 weeks to make sure that your lipids and your liver are working properly. It's that strong of a drug. Yeah. So it's usually the last thing they give you when all else has failed. So I went to this really expensive dermatologist in Dallas where I lived. This is in 1988. And they gave me a prescription for the same stuff. So nothing new. So I was pretty frustrated as I drove down, and keep in mind in the 80s, there were no vitamin shops.
Mm-hmm.
There's none of that stuff was not popular.
There was nothing online to look stuff up either, right?
So nothing to look online. So I went to a herbal store. A friend of mine had said that they had gotten some relief taking some herbal supplements. So, I mean, I was that desperate. So I go down there. I drove to this these places used to be like occult shops, were the ones that had the herbs. Yeah. So it was in a dilapidated shopping center at the very end. I can just picture it still today. The heat, it's dirty. I walk in, and this little lady puts me on Tahibo, which is a tea made from bark from South America. And my acne got worse. And when it got worse, that's when I made the connection that something going on in my diet must be creating this problem. So, and she was saying, keep taking it, it'll get better after a while. It's flushing it out. So I learned about detoxing. I learned about colon health. I learned about probiotics. Went on a 3-day fast, nothing but just apples and water. That's it.
Wow.
Just fiber and water. The acne went away, completely cleared up. Even the red marks that would be left behind, gone. So I was shocked. So, of course, as I put stuff back in my diet, I figured out sugar was causing me a problem, and learned later on in my holistic training and journey to being an esthetician that the antibiotic use for so many, over the years, especially in the 70s, they give it to you for everything. I had tonsillitis. I've been on antibiotics my whole childhood. Had messed up my gut health. Really messed up my gut health, and I had a candida problem. I had a yeast problem internally. So once I got all that sorted out, cleaned up my diet, which sugar-free still today for the most part. Occasionally I'll have something, but there's not sweets around the house, as we would say, and learned about the effects of altered dairy and all the things, and the glycolics, the glycine spikes in your blood from sugar would create the flare-ups. They're finding that's even true with rosacea eczema too, that it can trigger those flare-ups. So I got my internal health straightened out. I went on about a regular life. I was in the corporate world for a long time, but I was also publishing booklets during the first internet age before Amazon. Mm-hmm. And we wrote a book on this problem that I had and how I cleared it up. And it took off and became a bestseller. So I left the corporate world in my 40s. I was 40 then, and this is in 2004. And went on television, went all over the country talking about it. And that's when the same kind of timing as everything. MRSA became a thing. The thing about probiotics became a thing. My mom had diverticulitis, and they put her on yogurt and all the stuff she saw me do all those years that she wouldn't do because she didn't like it. I'm not eating that. Ugh. They put her on all the same stuff and probiotics to get her digestive health straightened out. So, that's how this all got started. And over the years, now I'm the age I am now, which is 61.
Yeah, so I'm shocked about this.
Not looking 61. Even on a Friday morning where I'm like, this is as bad as I ever look, Friday afternoon, those same benefits for my skin health for acne paid off as well. Also, I learned about sunscreen early on because I said I learned a lot of good things from dermatologists because I was around them so much. I got information that now you can find out, but there was no internet or anything. So my friends were like, why are you slathering that stuff on all the time? Because my dermatologist said I need to protect my skin from the sun. So I started doing that in my early 20s.
Good for you.
And it's really paid off over the years. And then the YouTube channel, I took a break. Life happens. I took a break. I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida, where I am now. And I wanted to get back into doing the work that I had been doing after that break. And so I picked YouTube. I had a publicist then that had connections in TV. Do you want to go back on television? Do you want to rewrite or update the book? I really didn't want to go backwards. Do you know what I mean? I'd done that chapter. So I picked YouTube, and I did just acne information at first, and it did okay. But when I started talking about the other aspects of holistic skincare and health and wellness and my age, and we talk about my biological age versus my chronological age. Yeah. The real age that I am. And all of those are now incorporated into that channel. So while it is a skincare centric channel, they talk about other things because people want to know. Yeah. So it's really grown quickly It took like a few years to get to 100,000 followers, and then it's taken a really short time, a couple of years to get to 500, and we're already over that now, heading towards, 1 million, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that, very thankful and grateful, but it's a really great community I have on YouTube, and I have an online community that's called Skin So Fabulous, where people direct message me. So it's sort of a network.
Where do they go? Is it a website that they can go to?
It's a website. Yeah. It's a free, it's no cost, but it's like a membership thing. You just sign up, and you can talk to other people in the network. People help each other out with products and hints and help. And then they're able to access me directly, while YouTube, I have to try to answer I can never answer all of the questions that happen on the videos. Because you can imagine people see a video from 4 or 5 years ago. This is my 7th year on YouTube. So I don't see those questions.
Yeah.
So it gives everybody a way to get more information from me.
And just for the listeners, I'll put this website in the description of the podcast or the video you're watching, so you can go to it. So,
right. And it's also in every video description on YouTube, it's a link down there too. So
okay, awesome.
So yeah, please, and everybody's welcome. Whether you've been watching me on YouTube or not, it doesn't matter.
Have you thought about, are you on TikTok as well, or is YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. It's called Skincare with Chris, and it's a smaller group of people. It's about 20,000 right now. I'm on Instagram. I have 2 of those, Skin So Fabulous and Chris Gibson Friends. My fan page on Facebook is Chris Gibson Friends as well.
Okay.
And so a lot of exciting things coming. I have a small skincare line that we've been working on for the last 5 years with a company called Clear Revolution Skincare. So that's happening and happens. People do purchase that stuff, but where it was really a long-term, the skincare formulations, because I've done this before. I formulated 2 skincare lines before this one. So this one's quite a more botanically based, which is what people are really looking for, a clean, botanically based skincare. So that's really exciting that we're working on that. And then I have a whole thing of supplements coming out because I talk about the stuff that I take.
So how important is that? Talk about the supplements, because I keep hearing about NAD.
Supplementation is very important. Yeah, I take NAD, vitamin K2. I'll come back to why these are important. So NAD is very important. Vitamin K2 plus D3, very important.
I take that every day, actually.
Omegas, your omega-3s are very important. Making sure that you get enough vitamin C. Brian Johnson, I like some of his stuff, like the olive oil, creatine. All of those things are really important to have in your diet, especially if you're just eating processed food.
Yeah.
Like if you're not eating fresh food, then, that can be a problem. I also eat lean meats, fish, chicken, turkey, beef. Mm-hmm. We're finding that people that don't have those proteins tend to lose collagen faster. So collagen peptides, I take those. I just did a video, it'll come out today, on sun powder, which is a newer product. A couple of doctors from Harvard and Stanford created that, skin cancer doctors. Mm-hmm. So it's collagen peptides along with other amino acids and ingredients to help your skin actually fight negative effects of the sun and reverse some of the skin DNA damage that you've had. The science just keeps getting better and better. It's an exciting time to be in this. And I do red light therapy as well. But NAD is basically a building block molecule that your body needs all over. Every
so process. Are you doing a shot of it? Are you doing a vitamin or a supplement of it?
I take, most of these supplements are capsules. It's a stack. The collagen peptides go, and the creatine go in a glass of water or a smoothie. Okay. So it's a variety. Gummies are good. Sometimes when I travel, I take those with me, the collagen peptide gummies, rather than the powder, because not always easy to find a place to mix all that stuff up. So I have both, as long as I get them daily. Those 19 amino acids are super important for your skin to be able to hold on to, manufacture new collagen, and to strengthen the elastin fibers you already have. So very important to have those in your diet.
What about the NAD though? Are you doing that?
Yeah, I take the capsules. They're sublingual. There's all sorts of ways to take NAD.
So I got NAD from my esthetician, and it was a shot that you had to give yourself, and I can't do it.
I take the capsules. So
what's the brand that can you recommend a brand?
I don't think of what that brand is in there. I don't remember. I'll have to look.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, what is it? NO Labs, NO Labs, I think is where mine comes from. That sounds right. NO Labs,
Okay.
I believe is the right one. I had to think because you can imagine I see so many brands of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take that. I've been taking NAD for the last 4 years.
And so the whole craze, I mean, like on TikTok and, Instagram Reels, and the Kardashians are doing it. I mean, it sounds like you were ahead of the game before all this came out with NAD.
Yeah, I kind of stay up on the science. I really big fan of Dr. Bird on YouTube, Dr. Mike on YouTube, Brian Johnson. Some of his stuff I keep up with because he's spending the money on the research. So I'm very research driven. So even though I'm holistic and holistic things absolutely work, there's always science behind all that. I just did a video not too long ago on frankincense, and there's been scientific studies on the benefits of frankincense for the skin. So while that's been around for thousands of years and people have used it and gotten good results, so that from that way, now we have some scientific studies behind frankincense and how it's good for your skin. So it's amazing to see some of these holistic castor oil. Another one that's big right now. Like all I do is have to talk about castor oil and people go crazy.
Yeah.
Been around forever. I've been talking about castor oil since I had acne. I used it on my skin back then.
So you're putting it on your face or you're drinking?
Yeah, as a skin emollient. It's fractionated in a lot of products, especially for hair.
Yeah.
But it's great for your scalp. It's great for your skin. Used to be used as a laxative. Again, my mother used to tell horror stories.
I remember hearing about that too as a kid.
Yeah, she said it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not a gentle. But putting on your skin is not going to have that effect.
Yeah.
It's just very hydrating. A lot of people will take a pause, and I say the ricin in it is very good for the skin. Now, ricin can be derived from castor oil and made into that poison that we think of.
Yeah.
But it's not poisonous as the oil. It's not. So that it's like anything, they can extract certain ingredients out of something and make something else with it.
Yeah.
Everything is that way. Everything we have comes from some sort of plant or some sort of molecule that's already existing. So it's very good for skin. It's good for scars.
So I had these scars from chicken pox when I was 9. What can I do for that? What would you tell me to do?
If it's an indentation, peels are going to work better. It's hard to get anything to happen unless you do like microneedling, like a microneedle therapy with RF. I just did Exion. I did Exion for, is it 3 or 4 treatments? I think I had 3 treatments, and it really made a difference for my acne scars. Or you can have filler put in, hyaluronic acid filler in a spot to puff it out. It's really hard with those, other than to have like some sort of dermabrasion. I just live with the ones I know aren't going to go away.
Yeah.
Which is like, they are what they are.
I did a thing called Agnes, which is a hot microneedling. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
And I thought, it was painful. They had to they had to numb my face, and they had to do 50 shots of lidocaine on both sides. And she said it was 1,000 needles at one point by the time I was done. So it was.
Did it make any difference?
It did. It was supposed to help lift. It did help a little bit with that, but it was supposed to help lift your jowl or whatever she was saying. And I'm really into skincare, so I was willing to try. And then I did a laser treatment. I'll tell you, when I lived in Dallas, I did this laser treatment called Halo. It was the best laser treatment I have ever done, and I got so many people that noticed the difference in my skin after that. And I grew up in Miami. And so I was in the sun with baby oil on my skin in the 80s. Right. That's how you lived at the beach or at the pool in the 80s as a kid. And when I would go to the dermatologist, you have so much skin damage. And so after that laser treatment, I had a dermatology appointment 6 months later. I'm like, I know I have a lot of skin damage. They're like, oh no, you have no sun damage. It takes it all off. So it's amazing.
Yeah, that laser treatment is really great if you already have a lot of dark spots and all of that going on, because it takes that layer off. That's the whole Lindsay Lohan thing, Everybody's been talking about her skin, and she's like, I get laser treatments. So, it's like part of my skincare routine. I go and get those, and it takes that all off.
Yeah.
Much more effectively even than a skin peel, and much less downtime and much quicker recovery. So I have I have the mask for your neck and the red
the red light.
Yep. I do all of
Should
that.
I be doing that every day?
3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes every day.
Okay.
At least. The device will have instructions, and I always say follow the label instructions, but as a general rule of thumb, for red light therapy to be the most efficient and effective, every day dosage.
Every day. Okay.
I even have the mats that you lay on.
Oh, really?
Like I have, like when I got some sort of weird virus like 3 or 4 months ago, I thought maybe I had COVID again. And I was like, but it wasn't. It was really short-lived. But I used that red light therapy blanket. It's like a envelope. You zip it up around yourself, and it really made a difference. I was like, wow. Like I was achy. Nothing was cutting this. I was about ready to go to the ER. I've never been to the ER for anything. And I'm like going, I think I maybe need to go to the doctor. Like I really feel bad. And so I got in there, just something cute in my head. Why don't you try the red light therapy and see if that helps? And I stayed in it for 30 minutes, and I felt a lot better, like instantly a lot better. Well, 30 minutes later, I felt better. The next morning, I don't know if I can give the red light therapy. I think it was a quick acting virus that I just picked up somewhere, but nothing was working.
Yeah.
It would take my temperature down, but I still felt awful. So it really helped. So, and that was developed in sports medicine years ago. That's how they speed up, they have all these processes for sports injuries, cold and hot treatments and red light therapy and radio frequency therapy. Yeah. So in the sports world, this has been around for a while. It's just now it's very mainstream.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Okay, and now back to the show. There's a guy I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and his name is Doug Leifer, and he thought he was going to die, basically, like similar, some type of virus. He had other things going on. He ended up doing Tesla red lights. Have you heard of these?
Yep, I have.
And he is a huge, he's promoting the hell out of these because it saved his life and it turned him around. And like you, he's maybe, I don't know how old he is. He does not look his age at all. And it just has turned his whole life around, his whole health, the way he thinks about things. He says it's a miracle light.
Yeah. Oh, the Tesla magnets, I had M-Sculpt done. So there's a wellness center here that has all of this stuff. And
where are you in Florida? Like what part of Florida?
I'm like St. Petersburg, Tampa, St. Pete.
Yeah.
So I just did a video out on the M-Sculpt. So it's the Tesla magnet energy. And what it does is it works the muscle, 100% of your muscle, like thousands of reps. It's like you couldn't do that many setups.
Yeah.
Even if you were a power athlete, you couldn't. At the same time, that red light energy, that RF energy coming from that magnet through, it actually melts those fat cells.
Wow.
So it's like cool sculpting, or it gives you there are before and afters in that video that are shocking at 90 days.
Yeah.
It's like I had lipo.
Yeah.
But I have no lipo. It didn't hurt.
And you're going somewhere to do this at a clinic?
I went and did a session. There were 4 of those just on my midsection to see what could be the difference. Because even though I work out and I'm in good shape, great shape actually, that's an area everybody has an issue with usually, right around
same with me.
Midsection. So it really, really helped. I was very amazed and very happy to do the video for them. And I've been doing the Exion, the microneedling with the RF therapy. That's also Tesla driven.
Okay.
That device, I believe, is too. And that was the microneedling for the acne scars, and just did before and afters of that. I had a before and after picture I sent of me at 40 and me at 61. I did that second treatment and I looked the same.
Yeah.
Like I looked the same. So it worked all that collagen, it rebuilt all of that and thickened and tightened my skin. Sort of like you were talking about the under the chin area. And just because I would do yoga exercises for the face. I teach that on the channel, the yoga exercises to lift and sculpt your skin, like jazzercise and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
I teach that because it works. But that device was just insane, the results. And I mean, it hurt a little. I had to have my face had to be numb. But I'm one of those people that my skin's very responsive. I've done a lot of skin peels over the years, so it didn't bother me as much. They would ask you, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, keep going. It's not bothering me. I can feel it. I don't like that sensation.
Yeah.
It's like going to the dentist when they're working on your teeth. You can feel it, but it doesn't hurt, but you still feel it, right?
Yeah.
It was like that. So I was very pleased with that.
The hot microneedling, where I just sometimes she would get over here, and I would.
It just touches a nerve. You feel it.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
This is very
I'm like, I don't
sincere.
think that's numbed in that part. She goes, okay, I just need to do it 2 more times. Can you do it? I'm like, just do it. Let's do it.
So the last one I did, it's funny you bring that up. The first 2, I was really good. They put the stuff on my face. I was on my phone working and answering questions or whatever. The last one that I had done this week, which was Monday, they did the same thing, but I had to deal with an issue. So I was on the phone talking. So these muscles were still very much aware. They were not numb. So when she was around here, I was the same way. I'm like, this is my fault. I feel it because I was the whole time. You're supposed to be quiet and let that work. But the results have been really worth it. So I'm happy to do videos I'm trying to give everybody a wide range of information. I like to take really complex stuff and break it down and make it simple. If you were watching my videos, you probably saw that's what I do. Yeah. I talk about ingredients and what they do or don't do. I don't focus on a lot of negative stuff. If I test something out, I don't go in there and bash the brand. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not working for someone else.
Yeah.
Because different things work at different levels for different bodies. So I'm not a basher. It's just information.
Yeah. I mean, I've bought every skincare. I spent ridiculous amounts of money on skincare. And again, I'm not bashing this brand. It's just not for me. But La Mer, it's $450 for the night cream.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me either.
And
that was my experience.
I feel like it clogged my pores actually more than anything. But I had to do it. I read all this stuff online, and
I've done La Mer. I've done the 8th day serum, the Oprah serum that's so expensive. Yeah. I've tested out, and I have not. I've told people in the videos I'll talk about those, but did I get as great results? Right now, exosomes seems to be working really well for me. Prescription, which are the components of stem cells, which actually help your cells talk to each other.
What's it called again?
Exosomes. So you can get plant-based exosomes, like the Inky List has a really inexpensive version, or you can go to some place like Muesli, which I do for my prescription. And I actually stopped tretinoin and switched over to exosomes because as long as I've been using Tret and as good as it does for me, it always gave me problems around my eyes.
Yeah, I get very peely with it.
Like my eyes would just peel. It was awful. So, and for it to be effective, I was at the highest dose because, you start low and you get used to it. So when I got to that highest dose, my eyes were like, no way. You just don't even put it on your face. So great on the arms, anywhere else, but not on the face.
Measly is a website you can go to get it.
If there are 2 online skincare companies that I recommend. It's either Agency Skincare online or Muesli, Musley. You talk to a doctor. It's all telehealth based. You send in pictures, and then they will give you the prescription level of whatever you're trying to treat.
Yeah.
They even treat age damage on arms, chest, neck. They have a body cream that's amazing. I use that. It's a little more expensive, obviously it's prescription level, but then I also teach, because it's ingredients, I teach on the channel the things you can buy that are over the counter and use together to get similar results.
Okay.
Like tranexamic acid, kojic acid, niacinamide, like Good Molecules has a really expensive dark turmeric is really good holistically. Mm-hmm. I've been doing a lot of videos for a company called Glow Melanin that is based in Atlanta. It's really developed skincare for darker skin types, but it works for everyone.
Yeah.
Love their stuff. It's all natural ingredients. The turmeric is the main component. And I've been talking about turmeric for a long time for age spots and hyperpigmentation because it does such a great job. So there are a lot of choices depending on who you are and what you like and what your interest is and what you're trying to treat. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. I have to remind people, because I am a review channel where I review stuff, people tend to do that. They tend to buy everything I review. I'm like, well, if you got something working, you don't need to change. My job is to give information out and you make the choice.
Yeah.
or you run out of that and then you want to try this one, that's fine. But don't like don't fill up a drawer of stuff just because I said it's good. It's like people do
You
that.
should see my bathroom though.
It's hard. I know it's hard not to, because every time I get excited about products that work, and on the whole, as much junk is out there, there are some really great products, but it always comes down to the ingredients and the formulation over brand name and price. So like you said, $400 cream may not work for you. I wouldn't spend that on there. I would just chalk it up to experience. And look at the ingredients in those products, and you can find dupes that are a lot cheaper. And sometimes the dupes have less other ingredients and work better, because it's the ingredient that's agreeing with your skincare issue that's making the difference.
Yeah.
So like vitamin C, some people do well with L-ascorbic acid, which is the unstable, it's stronger. People have more trouble with it. It's like Tret. It can be kind of harsh on your skin, but it does a lot of great things for skin. But then there's a sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a gentler, more stable version that, while won't give you the same result quickly, over time, it will deliver the same result. So you just have to be patient. So there's a lot of that in skincare. It's very fluid, and it's a lot of work for a lot of us to figure out, just like it did for me for acne, to figure out what's actually going to work well for me. What treatments, like you did laser therapy, you're sold, it worked really well for you. I did the microneedling and the M-Sculpt. Those things worked really well for me. Red light therapy works. I can tell the difference.
Yeah.
But whereas somebody else might go get that and not be as happy with the results.
Yeah.
Well,
how did you get started though? Like, did you go to school to be an esthetician?
Yeah, I trained to be an esthetician, and it was a holistic esthetician training in the 80s. And I stayed up with that for myself and family members. I didn't really go hang a shingle out and do anything with it. Then I got certified in nutrition. That was in 93, I think, 93, 94. And then, like I said, when I wrote the book, the acne book, Acne Free in 3 Days, then I had to pull all that stuff back out, and things had evolved. Obviously, I'm not a medical esthetician. I don't do treatments on people, but I know formulations.
Do you have clients?
I do. I do take a few clients a month from the network. Will schedule an hour with me, and we just go over their skincare routine, what ingredients they're using, what's working, what's not working. So it's that kind of consultation. It's really skincare routine building. What I tell people, if you have an issue, don't send me a picture of a spot on your skin. Go to the dermatologist. If you have an issue, something's weird, you need to go see the doctor. I am not the answer. The internet is not the answer. TikTok is not the answer. Your doctor is the answer. So I try to keep that very clear. But there are holistic things that work well. One of the things I thought I would be known for, I was afraid I was going to be known for, that took off, was there are holistic treatments for warts and skin tags. Baking soda and castor oil, a paste, instead of the salicylic acid paint that people would put on, the wart would come back. I'm like, well, you got to kill that virus. It'll come back because it's a literal virus. So the castor oil and the baking soda on the wart, the baking soda changes the pH of your skin and kills that virus. So people were just amazed that they didn't know that. So that took off on TikTok. And then it took off on YouTube. I was like, well, great. I'm going to be known as the wart guy.
Yeah.
That's going to be my claim to fame. Great. So obviously that just became a piece of stuff. But, there are a lot of things you can do. I mean, Dr. Mike talked about the whole putting duct tape and smothering a wart. Same thing. You got to kill that virus to get rid of it. So there's a lot of things that do work that are like that people just sit around and suffer with things unnecessarily. Even if you don't have the money to go get that burned off, which my first time I had one, I had it burned off and it came back. After all that pain and blistering and it turning ugly and black on my finger and getting infected and grow, it took forever for it to heal. It looked good for about a month and things started to come back. And that's when I found the castor oil and baking soda treatment. Put that on there, put the Band-Aid on there. Lo and behold, guess what? It killed it.
Yeah. Awesome. What is your thoughts on kind of the whole Botox, doing it every 3 months? Are you in favor?
I'm not a fan of Botox.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't use it, and I don't tell people not to do it. You got to do what works for you. Again, different things work better for people. There's our Geroline, which is a Botox in a bottle, as they call it, which is a peptide or amino acid that when you put on the skin surface, disrupts this conversation with your muscle. So you move the muscle a little bit less. So it gives you a similar effect as Botox, not as complete an effect as Botox.
Yeah.
This doesn't freeze your face, but it will soften those lines that are come from dynamic wrinkles when you smile and all that stuff. Yeah. Botox stays in your body. And for a lot of people that long-term use, it weakens the muscle because it's not being used. Mm-hmm. And then you get that, you see that on people. This stuff right here where that muscle, like Madonna had that, remember, for a while till she got her facelift. That was from Botox. And she talked about that Botox weakened the muscles around her eyes. So, yeah, it's a personal choice. It's an easy, fast fix. But again, you got to get it done over and over again. And, on the long term, I don't think it gives the benefits people are looking for. But again, everybody's different. You're a lot of people getting out of Botox and fillers now. Yeah. If you have a symmetry problem with your face, or you've had a fracture, or you've lost teeth, I think having filler put in for that is amazing. It will make you look like you want to look. Yeah. But just to have it to stretch out your face gives you that face doesn't look right. I can spot that stuff right away. I can spot it the minute I see it.
I have a couple of celebrities I want to ask you about, and you've named two of them. So I think Lindsay Lohan and Madonna look so much better now.
They do.
And, Madonna, I seen her last concert and I was in the fourth row. So I really seen her up close, and her skin looks amazing now after she got past all the things that she was doing.
Well, yeah, she clearly had that deep microneedling because you're puffy. When she was really puffy, that's not filler because it wouldn't have gone away. That was just the deep tissue treatment she had your face swells. It's healing. Okay. It's healing underneath. So she does look fabulous. And she had to put up with all the crap.
I know. I hate that too.
She said, I shouldn't have gone on that show looking like that. I shouldn't have. She said that. But, she's always been ahead of the curve on wellness and been criticized for it. Yeah. Too thin, you're bony. She looked in her 40s. She looked amazing.
She looks amazing now, and she's 65 or 66.
She's barreling towards 70. So, you've got some folks that have done it right. It is not just about the aesthetics of plastic surgery or augmentation. They take care of their physical body. Yeah. With what they eat, and they're high about the vitamins and making sure that they get the nutrients that may be missing. They do the blood tests. There are blood tests now. You can get them online, mail them in. They'll tell you what you're deficient in. Wow. There's really so much medical information available to people if they can afford to do it. The tests are not cheap, but they're cheaper than going to your doctor and having them done. Yeah. It's like a membership, $400 a year, where you get 4 blood tests, full panel, everything. Where you go to your doctor, well, you don't really need to check that. You don't really need to check that. That's going to make your lab bill like $2,000. Yeah. So $400, $2,000. So I just encourage people to know your health, know what's going on.
Where would they go to do that? Where would you tell them?
There's online. There are what's that name of that one? X something. There's several of those they're Trustpilot on there. They're verified. If they send it to a lab. So what you do is you get a card in the mail and you prick your finger and you bleed on these little dots. Yeah. If I can do that, anybody can do it. And the first time I did it was because I don't like needles or any of that stuff.
Neither do I.
So I mailed it in and I got back, my iron was good. I kind of knew because I took good care of myself, but I saw some numbers were a little off. Like cholesterol was a little high for me. So I adjusted my diet. Just 3 months later, did another one, and it was back where it should be. Yeah. So it's really about knowing what's going on and not being scared to know what's going on. And if you don't feel well, if something feels off, you should always go get that checked out.
So just looking for a blood test online, and then it will give you everything that you're kind of deficient or need.
Yeah, well, it's a full panel test. So where you go to the doctor, a lot of times they will discourage all of those extra things because it costs so much money from that way. Yeah. So your insurance, probably your provider, but these outfits are blood. This is what they do. So it brings the cost is shared with those it brings the cost of those blood tests down significantly. So to pay a membership, $400 or $500 even, and then you get $85 for each test.
Yeah.
you're still way under over the course of a year what it would cost you. And you're getting information on a regular basis of how your health is.
Yeah. That's amazing.
You
Yeah.
can tell everything from your blood. You can tell everything, where you're deficient in vitamin, everything. So I think I encourage people to use that. I do them.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the vampire facial?
Well, we were making jokes about that when I had that microneedling, because you do bleed some, and she massages that back in with a mask that goes on your face.
That's what happened to me too.
It's basically the same thing. You're just they're pushing plasma back into all of this is to activate the bio cells and stem cells and regeneration of your skin cells and your collagen cells. It turns all that on. It's a healing process. It makes your body think it's been really damaged, like from a fire or a bad sunburn.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, except it's way less damaging, right? So it's just micro injuries that heal really quickly. I mean, 2 days later, my face was red the first day, still stingy the second day, and you went through this.
Yeah.
Third day, it was back to normal.
Yeah, same.
And that's when you start to look really good. You look at them and go, wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, exactly.
You realize it's just going to get better and better and better as your skin heals over a course of a week. So
the last laser I did, I think, was harsher than the microneedling.
Oh, that can be, because they're taking off a layer of skin.
Yeah. That was a tough laser.
I've watched that procedure. It's fascinating to see that sun damage, and then that laser across it and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's oxidized off.
And this wasn't the halo. This was just another laser that I did. The halo, I don't think I need to do it again because it kind of cleared everything up. But anybody that hasn't done it, they should do it, because I think it was the most amazing results that I've seen for the laser.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good that we can do that stuff now.
And we'll be right back. Okay, now back to the show. I have a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
What's the DMs that you're getting from people, or the messages you're getting from people what's the most common question that you're getting from people about skincare? Are they asking you for product use? How do I get rid of this? How do I stay young? Like, what's the biggest?
The big three are, how do I reverse this sun damage I have?
Okay.
And this is people in their 30s too. Yeah. I get some acne. I got to throw that in because that's sort of what I was known for. So I have people who've been following me since the book, for like 25 years now. The other one is, what is my diet? Yeah. Do I do fasting? Because I do intermittent fasting. That's one of the things I employ. What's my exercise routine? Those are really usually the basics. They love the therapies, the red light therapy, because there's so much confusion around it. Oh my, I thought that would burn all the fat. No. Yeah. Different lengths of light do different things in your body, different strengths, different spectrums, create different outcomes. So usually it's really to try to clear up a lot of the confusion. No, I want to do red light therapy on my face, but I heard it'll melt the fat on my face. Well, no, not those regenerative masks are not going to do that. That what they're talking about is that heat we're talking about. It's hot. Yeah. When they're melting fat cells, it's hot. Like you feel it. Well, these red light therapy masks are very soothing. Yeah, I think it's great. Very relaxing. You have encouraged me to make sure that's part of my nightly routine. So. Yeah, mine's on the nightstand. Yeah. I get into bed. I've already done all my stuff. It goes on 3 minutes off. I'm good. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And it's only 3 minutes. I just get so lazy because I'm just like, oh God. Like, sometimes if I'm feeling, like I'll do another one. I'll just hit it again and just do two. Yeah. Just whatever. But yeah, it's very soothing. It's very relaxing. Personal question. Are you in a relationship? No. Okay. Whenever I think I want one, sometimes I don't want one. Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering if people are like reaching out to you, or when you're dating somebody, are they trying to get all the information from you? Now I'm to the point where I can't go anywhere without somebody coming up to me. Yeah. I was going to ask, that many followers, I feel like you're noticed. I'll be at a restaurant, I'll be somewhere and somebody go, are you the skincare guy on YouTube? And I go, yeah. Can I ask a question? Yeah. So it happens a lot. I mean, it used to not, but it's a grocery store even. Yeah. So, I go in there now, all the people that work there know who I am. So they all watch the videos. That's amazing though. It's funny. It's just weird. It's a weird thing. I'm still not good at people coming up to me. I am a
Really?
person where people come up to me, even though I was on television and I did that for a while and I was pretty visible. When people come up to me, I still am like, I step back. I get that face like, have we met? So I'm trying to work on that and not be so. It's not off-putting. It's just that it makes them hesitate.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I shouldn't have come up. And I'm like, it's fine.
I mean, you got a great platform, but have you ever thought about kind of putting all this knowledge outside of acne into a new book at some point?
Yeah. I said early on in the channel, it was in a video somewhere a couple times actually, that when I passed 500,000, I would work on the book.
You should.
I said, because it was so much work, the first one, that there's no way I'm not doing a book if you all are going to make it a bestseller. I'm just telling you right out. I will do a book, but all you guys are watching have to go get it so it's a bestseller, because it's
I would definitely get it and come back on my show and promote it whenever you have it out there.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. Like we wanted to get the skincare. We've got that about where we want it. It's not retail. It's a private line. We're working on the supplementation. I want, private label the collagen peptides. We just had that meeting. So there's going to be collagen peptides, D3 and K2 and D3, which is super important. We didn't really talk enough about that everybody needs that. So that helps replace the sun you're not getting.
Okay.
The D3 helps the K2 manage the calcium in your body. So it's helping your collagen, it's helping your bones, it's keeping the calcium out of your brain and out of your arteries. Because what you don't want is the plaque buildup to get the calcium, because then it becomes hardened. And that's what causes all the cardiovascular issues, right? Stroke, all that stuff. That piece of that breaks off. Well, you can say if a piece of fatty breaks off, your body can kind of know what to do though, but you got a rock going through there, it's going to be a problem. So that is very important, especially for women with osteoporosis issues and bone loss in menopause. All of us are talking about that. There's not one person from Dr. Dre to Dr. Mike we're all talking about vitamin K2 and D3 because it's that important in your diet. You need to be taking that. I mean, talk to your doctor, because if you're on blood thinners, that's what you should always talk, because it does affect those. If you're taking blood thinners, you want to talk to them. But outside of that, for everybody who's healthy, that should be a part of your diet.
Yeah, I've been taking them for years. I guess I must have seen it at some point on the internet.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, you probably have great bone density. I'm to the age now where they're checking that stuff, and they're like, your bones are like 20 years old. I'm like, well, I work out, so I've been doing that my whole life. The only thing I've stopped running, now I do Peloton, because I don't want to, my knees and feet are in great shape for someone my age. They don't hurt, and I'm flexible. So we made the decision, no more running, pounding on the pavement. So now I'm on the Peloton. Cycling. So
my last question for you is, would you ever think about doing kind of a tour where you're going off and setting up, a lot of these, podcasters and people with these channels do these tours and really go to 15, 20 cities sometimes and get a pretty big size audience and kind of just do a talk. Have you thought about doing anything like that?
Yeah. In fact, we were talking to I'm not going to name the name, before COVID. I was doing all right. I was already talking to a large pharmacy chain about doing that for skin cancer, promoting skin cancer, checks and stuff. And then COVID happened and the whole world stopped for a while. And then it was quite the same after. But yeah, I have thought about that. Maybe a workshop type of thing. I'm just now getting back in the media. So you're like the only second podcast I've done this new round. So
thought about doing your own podcast?
Yeah, but you know what? That's a lot of work. I applaud you, because I did one for a little while when I first moved to Florida, and I was like, you know what? It reminded me when I had my own radio show. I even had a radio show in the 2008. I did that for a year. You talk about you really got to be dedicated.
Yeah.
Like it has to be your focus. So what I'm going to be starting to do is once a month or twice a month live stream Q&As on the YouTube
That's
channel.
Awesome.
And tying it into Facebook and all the other places so that people can ask me questions. But yeah, I've thought about what you're talking about, and now that we're pretty stable with that kind of stuff, I think it would be worth it to do it. I know people would come to it. So when I did the TV stuff, people came to the book signings. So it was, and they were talks. They ended up being not book signings. They were just like, I did that part, but we ended up having, so we changed that in that tour, the signing, to be talks at Barnes and Noble. It was a talk. So a lot more people came,
Yeah.
to learn about the acne issues. I had teens that were struggling. It was all acne based back then. So yeah, this is great. It's great because it's fun to be doing this with all of the developments, with the positive side of AI, being able to figure out things that health wise that we can't figure out. It's going to be an amazing next couple, 10, 20 years. Just a lot's going to change.
Yeah.
When it comes to health.
Well, I
and
want
wellness.
you to think about also, just to take a moment, and you probably don't do this, but you should stop and take a moment just to think about how many people you've helped and how many people you've given great advice to, and you've changed their lives in life. So
I do hear that from you, and that's everything. I don't get hit with a lot of troll stuff, very little. I'm very lucky that way on YouTube, but there are a few people that are crazy. But yeah, I get that people come back and they'll say in the video, this made all the difference. I've tried everything. And they go and tell their doctors that too. And then their doctor starts watching me. That's weird. Doctors watching my YouTube channel.
But it's something to be very proud of. Not everybody's getting that.
When I made the decision to do YouTube, I knew it was going to be a stretch. So I made the commitment right away. I said, okay, if it takes a year, 2 years, 10 years, I'm just do what I do for the reason I do it. And so we didn't go viral. I've had some videos kind of go viral, but I mean, we didn't have that one big video that brought in 1 million subscribers. It's been a slow build. So most of the people on my channel are very engaged.
Yeah.
So when brands love me for that, because I'm get emailed all the time about supporting stuff, and I'm not going to just support anything. Mm-hmm. So there are a handful of brands I work with, but they love it because my folks are tuned in.
Yeah.
And they'll tell them if they had good experience or not.
Yeah.
I go, there you go. I'm like, tell the brand, they want to know. So they feel connected on the channel and they feel like they have a voice as a consumer, which is really important.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're doing is amazing. I think you have an amazing YouTube channel. Everybody should check it out. It'll be in the description of this podcast or video, but it's Chris Gibson Live is the name of the YouTube channel. Check it out. Again, he's got some amazing videos. And if you've got a skincare question or you need guidance, this is the place that you should go. So he's really great. So, and again, I'm shocked that you're 61 because you look like you're in your 30s. So good for you.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It's work, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it. Well, thank you so much for being on. Everybody, be sure to leave a comment on what you think. Go to Chris's channel. Tell us what you think about it. And be sure to subscribe. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.